Your life is not a job title. Your life is not whatever it is that you box yourself into because you think that that's where society wants you to be. So think bigger than job title. Think bigger than whatever it is that you're doing currently, especially if it's something that you really don't want to be doing, because you're holding on to the aspiring act of one day I'm going to run my own business. One day I'm going to write that book. One day I'm going to go out there and show the world what it is that I have to offer. One day I'm just going to, when is that one day going to be today? Hey queens, yeah, you know who you are. God, come on, go ahead and put that crown on your head. Now tilt a little to the left, now a little to the right. Perfect. Now let's get to work, because we know you got big goals and you got big dreams and not afraid to let them know. Why? Because you step into your purpose. You speak out on your faith, and you shift up in your journey, cause you a boss. Welcome to the podcast, Drop the Expiring Act with your host, Vellie of QueenBayGoals.com, reminding you that you are a queen before anything else. It's your life and your goals. Make it royal. Alright, y'all. Go ahead and work that crown. Hello, queens, and this is another episode of the Drop the Aspiring Act podcast with your host, Vellie, and this week is episode number 7. Yes, episode number 7. I had to check because this week I'm actually changing things up a bit. So, originally this week's episode was supposed to be Act Like J.K. Rowling, Think Like Stephen King, because we're starting to get into our people episodes. So it's no more act like a writer, think like a reader, act like an asset, think like an entrepreneur. Now it's people that we're doing. And originally we were supposed to start with act like J.K. Rowling, think like Stephen King. But after last week's episode of act like a CEO, think like a creative, I was like, wait a minute. This person, this woman, she embodies what act like a CEO, think like a creative really means. So I'm like, maybe we need to move that episode up and actually make that the next episode. So we're going to get into this week's episode, which is Act Like Marie Forleo and Think Like Oprah. Now, if you do not know who Marie Forleo is, you should probably jump on YouTube and catch one of her Marie TV segments where she does a lot of talking to answering business owners' questions or entrepreneurs' questions that they send in to her. And she does a video where she answers the questions about their business, about, marketing strategies, about social media, like everything to do with business. And she does them in such a fun, cute, original way that it's so funny. And that's what I liked about her videos when I first watched it. So go out there if you've never heard of Marie Forleo, go check out one of her videos on YouTube. So, but here's the reason why I say she embodies when I think of act like a CEO, think like a creative. If you watch her videos, like in all of the beginning segments of her video, like in the first couple seconds or whatever, there's always a clip of whether she's like just sitting around having a little bit of fun, or they do like these clips with her team Folio comes out and they do like little silly dances, or they're throwing confetti around, or she's like blowing those bazooka things. Like it's always something a little bit fun, and then she gets into the video answering the questions and being serious about the business, and then that's just how it goes, right? Which I love. She made a decision when she said she's going to do Marie TV and she's going to be answering business questions that come in from small business owners, entrepreneurs, people who want to be influencers. She was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this and I'm going to answer these questions, right? But she didn't say, okay, this is my business hat. This is the way I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go online and answer questions. She added her own little twist to it. So there's a bit of her personality every time you watch any of her videos. There's even also, what does she call her? Jersey Marie. Like if you watch one that has Jersey Marie where she brings out the Jersey girl in her. I mean, they're so funny. So check out, I don't even know which one of the episodes I can tell you to watch where she brings out her Jersey Marie. But it's so funny when she brings it out, which is like a different character for her because she's originally from Jersey anyway. But look at all that creativity that she has brought into her business while she's still business minded, business focused, right? So like I said last week when we talking about act like a CEO, think like a creative, you should still act in a way that you are making decisions for your business and where you want your business to go forward, but still think like a creative, like still think outside of the box, still bring original ideas. Like, don't shy away from it because it's not what everybody else is doing. Like, not everybody else is doing what she's doing when it comes to like her videos and stuff like that. Not a lot of people do that. A lot of them are probably just answering, like if they're taking questions from their audience, they're just going in and they're answering the questions, right? I mean, they're still getting views and they're still getting likes based on their audience, but her audience is a bit of a different audience where they like her character, where they can see how she is probably in real life. It shows into her videos. Like, she's that probably that person in real life that's like fun and cool to hang out with. So, and she still brings that to her business, and then she still brings you the information that you need to build your business. So that's when I say in this series, act like Marie Forleo. That's what I'm trying to tell you when you're ready to drop your aspiring act. Because you're dropping your aspiring act and you're starting your business, you're writing your book, like you're going out there and doing your thing, that doesn't mean that you can't still be creative with it, right? That doesn't mean that you can't bring your own personality in. So when you are dropping your aspiring act and going out there and starting to run your business, starting to create these products that you've always wanted to create, it, start to go out there and do this artistry work that you wanted to always do. Don't think that you're stopped being a creative now that you're taking your work out there to the world. Include some of your personality in it, right? Show the people who you are on the inside, as well as the professional side of you. That's your business face. So when I say act like Marie Forleo, that's all I'm saying. It's be your business self, but still be a creative, because I love that and I love her brand. Full disclosure, I did actually take the B School training a couple of years ago. I didn't go through all of the courses. I still have it to go through, like when I have time to actually sit and focus. But I mean, I love that. And that's one of the things that she's known for. And they're coming out with, I think, the Copy Cure now. I think now, well, depending on when you listen to this episode, right? They're coming out with that soon, which is another one of the programs that she has for copywriters, right? So these are the things that she's known for. You know her brand when you see her. So that's what you should think, or you should want people to do. And we can jump straight into the brand, right? Who do you think, which female is like a brand? Once you hear her name, you know, like that's the whole brand. Oprah, right? When I say think like Oprah in this episode, I mean think like Oprah. She is a whole brand. Because if I told you, or if I asked you, if I said the name Oprah, what would be the first thing that you think of? Right? Whatever that is that just popped in your mind. It is either one of the following, right? She was a TV, daytime TV talk show host for I don't even know how many years, but a whole lot of them, right? You know, she has her soul session Sundays with Oprah. She created a school for girls. But let's start about where Oprah started. When I say think like Oprah, and think like the whole brand of Oprah. Here's where she started. Well, career-wise anyway. Here's where she started. Oprah was a co-anchor. Then she transitioned into a talk show host. Then she transitioned into owning her own network. You see that transition? And that's just in when we're talking about the title. On top of that, Oprah was an actress. I mean, she's been in a couple of movies. She's also been a voiceover, which I just learned because I didn't know that. She's been a voiceover actress in several movies like Charlotte's Web, B Movie, Princess and the Frog, and Life. Then she also has the Oprah Book Club, the school for girls that she created in Africa, O Magazine, right? And I think she's a part of now Weight Watchers, which they did their world tour in the beginning of this year. Like, look at all that stuff that she did. Like, depending on who you ask, who is Oprah, what do you think of when you think of Oprah? One of these things will be the answers that you get. But here's what I'm talking about in this episode when I say think like Oprah. When I say think like Oprah, I mean think of yourself as a brand, right? Do not lock yourself into like job titles. Like, we started off with job titles in the beginning. Like I said, she was a co-anchor, a talk show host, and then she owned her own network. If she had just stuck to that, like her life is all about the job titles that she had, she would not be the woman that we know today, right? If she had just said, okay, this is who I am, as in her job title, that's who I am, and this is what I'm going to stick with. She didn't do that, right? She thought of herself as an entire brand. Like, Oprah is more than the face that you see on the TV. Right? She's more than the person who's interviewing these celebrities. She's more than the person who is interviewing all these people who have been through something traumatic or spiritual or inspiration in their lives that they're sharing with the world. She's more than that person. And when you are thinking about your own brand, the person or the thing that you want to bring out into the world, you need to think of yourself as a whole brand, and don't lock yourself into, okay, well, this is my job title, so this is what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Your life is not a job title. Your life is not whatever it is that you box yourself into because you think that that's where society wants you to be. So think bigger than job title. Think bigger than whatever it is that you're doing currently, especially if it's something that you really don't want to be doing, because you're holding on to the aspiring act of running your own business. You're holding on to the aspiring act of, one day I'm going to run my own business. One day I'm going to write that book. One day I'm going to go out there and show the world what it is that I have to offer. One day I'm just going to. When is that one day going to be today? See, that's why I have this podcast drop, The Aspirant Act, right? When is your one day going to be today? See, that's what it's all about. Starting to take action and starting to change your mindset so that you can drop your aspiring act and just move forward with whatever it is that you want to do. Go run your business. Go start your business. Go create your product. Make sure that it's something that the market out there is looking for. Go write your book. Share your story with the world because they're just waiting for it. When are you going to drop your aspiring act? So in this week's episode, I was talking about two big name brands, Marie Forleo and Oprah Winfrey. And like I said, when I have the people episodes, I'm not saying one person is better than the next, because Marie Forleo, I love her, she's great. But Oprah Winfrey, I also love her, and she's great too. And they're great for the different things that they bring to the table. And one thing I didn't mention about Marie Forleo, which I forgot, her story, I like her story too. When you're going back to the act like, think like, I love the part of her story where even though she was building this business and brand, when she didn't have the funds or the means to get this to the next level in her business, she took on odd jobs. And it was okay because she knew that she was taking on these odd jobs so that she can continue to build a bigger and better business on the side, right? So she started out doing like bartending. I know she was a dancer at one point. She was doing choreography. Like, she did all this stuff while still building her brand because she knew that's what she needed to do so that she can pay her bills, so she can have a roof over her head, right? So when you're acting like Marie Forleo, that's another thing that I wanted to mention. Make sure that you don't get locked into the idea, okay, well, you have to have this job because you have to pay these bills. That does not mean that you can't do your own thing of building your business on the side. Sorry. You can still work on building your business or whatever it is on the side while you're getting your life together, while you're getting your funds together, while you're getting your finances up there, right? So don't just stop at, oh man, I have to just do this and be this for the rest of my life because I have to make sure that I'm paying my bills. So this week we are not doing a twist on the podcast quotes because these great women, I don't even want to twist their quotes this week. I did a twist on Oprah's couple of weeks back. So you can, if you want to get a twist on one of her quotes, go back there. But this week I'm just going to give you two quotes from each. And it's all about the action part of dropping your aspiring act and the mindset shift as part of your aspiring act. So let's start with Marie Forleo. Act like Marie Forleo. The quotes of the podcast for her is, clarity comes from action, not thought, which is a big part of what we talk about when we say drop your aspiring act. It says clarity comes from action, not thought. And we talked about this in a previous episode where I said, you need to start actually doing the thing, writing your book, building your business, because you may find that you really don't like it. Right? You may have all these dreams in your head, and when you start doing it, like, I really don't like this. Maybe it's something else that I should be doing. But you won't get that clarity unless you start taking action. So I think that's what she means when she says clarity comes from action and not thought. You have to start taking action so that you can get that clarity on the direction that you want to go in your life, the direction that you want to go in your business, the act that you want to drop so that you can no longer be aspiring and just be the entrepreneur, just be the author of your life, right? And then when it comes to mindsets, here's what Marie Forleo also says. This is her second quote. The most powerful words in the universe are the words you say to yourself. Yes, I just had to pause for you to hear that, right? The most powerful words in the universe are the words you say to yourself. And this goes back to mindset. Thinking about the things that you're saying to yourself when you're trying to go after these things and your brain is just telling you, it can't be done. I can't do it. I'm afraid of what it would mean if I try to do this. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of, being embarrassed like it's a failure and everybody's looking at me like, oh my gosh, look at how she failed over there in that business, right? Think about the words that you are saying to yourself, and you need to start changing the language that you're telling yourself. You need to start telling yourself you are a success, right? You can be successful at whatever it is that you set your mind to. Even if you have a stumble in the direction of going towards your dreams, you can still continue on. That stumble doesn't mean that you fail. That stumble is okay, I need to reset, I need to rethink. There's something else that I need to learn, and we need to move forward. Like we said in the previous episode when we talked about the John Bon Jovi quote of failing is falling 9 times and getting up 10, right? At some point we should realize that failure is a part of the process and start accumulating time for that, because we know at some point it's going to be a point where we don't know what we don't know, and it may cause us to have a little pause in our action. Once we learn, we can move forward, right? So it's not necessarily a failure as it is this is something that I need to learn so that I can move forward. So the last 2 quotes that we have are from Oprah, and again, one is for the act like part of the series and one is for the think like part of the series, because we're talking about actions and we're talking about mindsets. And the first one, when it comes to action, is Oprah says, I feel that luck is preparation meeting opportunity. And you know what that preparation is? That preparation is action that you're going to take. So when you start writing your book, when you start building your business, that's all preparation for something bigger. Because suppose a radio station comes up to you tomorrow and be like, yeah, hey, what you into? What's your business like? What do you have going on? And you have nothing built up for your business. Like, you're not even ready, right? You want to have a successful and a big business, but you're not even ready for the opportunities when they come your way. So I think that's what she means when she says luck is preparation meeting opportunity. But in order to have that preparation, you have to start taking action. You have to start moving forward. You have to start doing the thing and drop your aspiring act. So let's get into our mindset quote from Oprah this week, which is, what I know is that if you do the work that you love and the work fulfills you, the rest will come. That is something that you have to believe. You have to believe that if you put in the work, that you put in your time, everything else, the success, all of the joy, the happiness, whatever it is that you're looking for, the passion in your life, that's going to come once you start putting in the work and you start doing the work. Everything else will come, but it starts with you doing the work, and it goes back to action. So that is it. I'm wrapping up the podcast for this week. So originally you were supposed to get Act Like J.K. Rowling, Think Like Stephen King, but that's going to come in next week's episode, because I just wanted to touch on the fact that Marie Forleo is the epitome of the previous episode, which is Act Like a CEO, Think Like You're Creative. I think that is Marie Forleo. And this week's episode, we're talking about Act Like Marie Forleo, Think Like Oprah. And then act like Marie Forleo, have your business, but still keep your creativity, inject some of that into what you're doing, and don't just put on a hat or a mindset of, it's all about the business. Well, it's all about the business, but you can still be creative, right? It's all about the business, but you can still think outside of the box. And again, when I say think like Oprah, think of yourself like a brand, right? You don't have to be tied into just your role, the role that you're playing in a company, the role that you're playing in your life, especially for moms. Let's talk about moms. Let's not get stuck into the mom role, right? Because you are more than just a mom. You are way more than just a mom, but you have to start thinking that for yourself. Start thinking about the other things that you are besides a mother to the children that you have. So we are wrapping up this week's episode. Make sure you come back next week for the next People episode. After J.K. Rowling and Stephen King, we have book review after that week, because it's going to be the end of the month. So we'll have a book review after J.K. Rowling and Stephen King, and then we'll have the last People episode, which is Act Like Michael Jordan and Think Like LeBron James. So I hope you guys are listening in the next episode. You have been listening to another episode of Drop the Aspiring Act. If you're looking for more information on this podcast and other episodes, please visit queenbaygoals.com. That's